Hello, my name is Jorge Bogantes. I'm a natural resources specialist at the Anacostia Watershed Society, and right now we are here at the Confluence Meadow. This is our most recent meadow restoration project here in the Bladensburg Hyattsville area, and it's our biggest one. This is 6 acres of meadow habitat that we are restoring in this FEMA floodway, and it's right at the confluence between the northwest branch and the northeast branch of the Anacostia River. So it's pretty much the start of the main stem of the Anacostia River, right here in the Bladensburg Hyattsville border. So I'm gonna put the camera in front of me and explain a little bit more about this project. All right, so here it is. We're kind of where that person is walking right now. That's the confluence. That's where the Anacostia River starts, and right here I am standing on a levee. You see there's a ditch. This is the Old Port of Bladensburg, or Old Bladensburg Port. This used to be a port in the colonial times. It was a big port in the 1700s and such. But then in the 1950s, this became a floodway. So the Army Corps of Engineers built this levee to protect the area from flooding, the nearby communities, and then they put some riprap on the stream banks, which is granite or big boulders. Is a form of hard armoring. So down there, that's the floodplain and the floodway, and that's where we're doing the meadow. This is our biggest meadow. Again, this is 6 acres of meadow habitat, going from the Rhode Island Avenue bridge right there, and goes here on the northeast branch, and goes through the confluence, which is again the start of the main stem of the Anacostia River, and it goes for about, I'd say, like 1,000 feet, kind of where those trees are right there. And but why meadows? Because meadows are very important habitats. They are quite overlooked, because normally we've been paying attention more to forests, wetlands, but not so much the meadows. There used to be meadows throughout the region here in the Maryland, DC, Virginia region. They were part of the landscape. They were a very important ecosystem for species like bobwhite quail, bobolink, and many other birds and wildlife, most of which are pretty absent or very scarce these days because of the lack of meadow habitat. And so this meadow right here at the confluence was a great opportunity, and I'm gonna meadow again. So this was a great opportunity for us to create meadows, because since this is a FEMA floodway, we couldn't plant more trees. We planted, you see those trees along the stream banks, those are rows of trees that we planted 20 years ago, but that's all the trees we could plant, because the idea here is that the more woody plants, the more this area is prone to flooding and damming. Again, a lot of people disagree with that, but we have to go with what with the Army Corps of Engineers. So because of that, because we cannot plant any more trees or woody plants, we propose the Army Corps to plant, to create meadow or grassland habitat, which is mostly made up of grasses and wildflowers. Let's take a look at what we are actually doing here. So again, this is a 6-acre area, and within those 6 acres we're actively planting 1-acre area, but that 1-acre area is spread in plots all over the 6-acre area, and you'll see one of the plots. This one is 900 square feet, and so right here in front of me. So what we did here, we remove a little bit of the debris, mowed the existing grass, which was mostly like non-native fescue, and then we tilled or cultivated the area, kind of scarified the soil, removing that sod layer of, you know, weed sod, and then we propagated the seed. In this case, we planted about a dozen native grasses and wildflowers, more grasses than wildflowers in biomass, including species like little blue stem, Indian grass, bottle brush grass, and purple top, and wildflowers such as black-eye Susan and other species. So after planting the seed, we put this fabric. As you can see, this is coconut fiber. This coconut fiber is biodegradable, and it does two things. And one is to keep the birds away. Even though we're managing this for the birds, we don't want the birds to eat all the seed we sowed. And the second one is to stabilize the soil. If the river were to flood, we don't want the sediments from this cultivated soil to go into the water column. And so again, we have about 50 of these plots that are 900 square feet spread throughout this area. Look at this big meadow. So we have been seeing interesting birds like goldfinches and bluebirds are using this area. Here's Maureen Farrington.
Hi everybody, Happy Giving Tuesday.
Happy Giving Tuesday. So yeah, with your support, we're creating meadow habitat in this FEMA floodway, where, you know, what they normally do is you know, mowing and spraying, and a lot of these park agencies are just wasting a lot of time and money, honestly, maintaining these places. And you know, mowing also produces a lot of carbon, a lot of gas emissions and such. So managing a habitat like this is more sustainable, more eco-friendly, and is honestly a nicer way with higher aesthetic value. Because if you put the camera in front of me, on the other side of the waterway of the river, there's the trail, as part of the Anacostia trail system that now connects with the Anacostia River Walk Trail. So you've got miles of trails going up and down, and a lot of people, as you saw, there was one person here earlier on, a lot of people use these areas to walk their dogs, to go see the river. And so we're making these areas not only prettier, but more valuable for wildlife, like birds, pollinators, and pollinators are is a huge topic, pollinator conservation, because of the declines in bees. And so by creating these habitats with grasses and wildflowers, we're creating food and also shelter and microhabitat for a lot of these bees, which are very helpful not only to the natural ecosystems but also to urban farmers. We have partners nearby like Eco City Farms and others. The people are producing honey and just planting stuff as urban farmers. So these kind of habitats are a great help for them too. And so yes, any other words?
We can cut to me, we can say some thank yous. We want to say thank you to Tuesday donors so far today. I want to say thank you to Carolyn Rudd, Douglas Alexander, Ann Hedian, Bonnie Perry, Kali Agel on our board, hey Kali, Aaron Castelli, Daniel Maceda, Paya Mostavar, Greer Goldman, also on our board, hi Greer, Laura Hurley, Christopher Garvin, Charles Evans, another board member, and Joel Usher. So thank you, and let's keep it going. If we can get a bunch of new donors this afternoon, or a bunch of unique donors, hopefully we can win an extra $1,000 to keep doing work like this, like you see here at the Bladensburg. We call it the Old Port of Bladensburg, the Bladensburg confluence.
Yeah.
If Jim were here, he'd tell you, oh, this was 20 feet deep back when Bladensburg was founded, and you know, up here, right where we're standing, is where the boats used to come up. It's crazy to think about.
Yeah, and that's exactly what one of our viewers is saying. To think Bladensburg was once a bustling port near this spot is incredible. That was Connor Smith. So yes, Connor, this was a huge port like Baltimore. And actually, look at from here. Let's do a little hike, and I'm gonna show you right now from the levee. There's a little trail, as you can see, so you can get down here on the floodway and you can hike this little trail. A lot of people use it to walk their dogs and such, and you can get a peek into the start of the Anacostia River right here. So this year you're gonna see the difference. This year they stopped mowing. So here on the right they stopped mowing. So look at the difference in the structure of the habitat. Taller grasses, wildflowers. And here on the left, this is the regularly mowed area. That's what they do on a regular basis. Come with the big mowers and just mow everything here. So what we're doing is this. Grasses and wildflowers, different kind of heights of vegetation, more structure to the habitat, more floral resources for the bees and birds, more seeds, more shelter. So it's really a more complex habitat what we're creating here. You can see those posts right there. That's what we use for photo monitoring. We document the changes in the restored meadow through time by taking pictures, and that's just one of our signs that says meadow restoration. And again, like you said, look at that beautiful sycamore tree. AWS planted that tree about 20 years ago, and again, the Army Corps of Engineers only allow us to plant a row of trees along the stream banks, not more than that. And that is why we decided to create a meadow. Here's another beautiful sycamore. It's probably like 25 feet tall.
Somebody was asking about what they can do to help, like with meadow restoration.
Okay, great question. What can you do to help? And we have volunteer days throughout the growing season. We have volunteer days where people can join and help us with site prep, seed planting. Seed planting happens in the spring and the fall only, but during the summer we do invasive plant control, vegetation surveys, and other maintenance activities. Yeah, so great questions. You go to our website anacostiaws.org and events, or if you have a group, send us an email and we can arrange a volunteer work day. So let me show you right here.
Sorry, Jorge, but you go to the low-hanging fruit. You can also give today on Giving Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Because that's definitely, I mean, we work really hard, and your money goes right to work for the river when you give to us. So we've been touting this year. We were 4-star charity for the 4th time through Charity Navigator, and we actually received Guide Star's newest highest level, which is platinum. So you know that AWS is a charity that you can trust. Get the job done.
That's right. And right here, so this is what I was mentioning earlier on. This is the riprap. So it's pretty much hard armoring. Instead of planting trees and vegetation to kind of tie up the stream banks, they put a bunch of rocks. Again, this structure is from the around the 1950s, and they still spray with herbicide just to, you know, see how the structure is doing. They have to spray it on a regular basis, which is some of the management techniques we've been persuading the Army Corps and the county to change. So what we're trying to do is to, you know, reduce mowing, the intensive mowing, and eliminate the spraying of herbicides, and really create this nice thriving meadow grassland habitat right here on the banks of the Anacostia River. So right here, this is the northeast branch. This part is still tidal, so we're at low tide right now. You see the river bed there. gets all covered by water at high tide, but it's very shallow. You go there, it's probably like 4 feet, 5 feet deep right there. And as we walk right here, and you see that corner, that's where the Anacostia River starts. That's the confluence between the northwest and northeast branches. Again, we're walking on the northeast branch right now, and this is the start of the Anacostia River. The river goes about 8.5 miles all the way to the confluence of the Potomac. Oh, right here, this is some woodchuck or groundhog activity. This is one of the entrances to the burrow of a groundhog, very common mammal species here. People use this for fishing. They come here and do some fishing. So you can,
there's the northwest branch.
and that's the northwest branch, and that's the start of the Anacostia River. As you can see, the clarity is very good, not only now during the winter, which normally the waters are clearer during the winter, but that's also the case even in the summer. The water here is pretty nice, and again, you can kind of see the bottom. It's very shallow, and especially now at low tide. And
yeah, we had 2 record-breaking quality or water clarity readings this year with the Secchi disc, which is a black and white thing. So this year we had like 2 of the deepest depths we've ever recorded with water clarity.
So one was near Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens, Kenilworth Marsh. It was around 30 inches, which is pretty good for the upper Anacostia River. And then the other one was by Bosser Point near the confluence with the Potomac. That was 50 inches. That's a record-breaking water clarity right there.
I wish it was water quality, but we're getting there.
And again, we can there's, as in many places, we have some trash issues. That's why you guys should join us for Earth Day, which is April 21st, 2018. We hope to see everyone in the spring. But again, in the meantime, don't hesitate to support us this Giving Tuesday, because you can see the results of what we do here in the river. We're trying to restore the ecosystems, the natural systems of the Anacostia River and its watershed. And again, on behalf of AWS, and here Maureen and I, thank you very much.
Thank you. And don't forget, it's a power hour, so please give.
Yeah, please give us, and thank you so much for all your support. Thank you.